Welcome back to In-Laws and Crime. I'm Ashley.
I am Megan, and welcome to In-Laws and Crime. Oh, I usually say this is In-Laws and Crime.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That's okay. Well, hello.
Hello.
We were just talking about Ashley's stressful day.
Yeah.
Something's up with the gas pumps, I guess.
Oh my gosh. I stopped. It was the fifth gas pump that I stopped at that I was finally able to pump gas.
Ashley almost did not make it to
I
this
literally lost it. I was losing my mind. And it was just random. Like, one was out of unleaded. One gas station was 2 cars deep at every pump because it happened to be $1.95. Then the card reader was broken. One canceled my transaction twice. It never even let me even try to pump gas. And then finally, the very last one, I was able to get gas.
Praise God.
But
Praise
how many
God.
gas stations do you really have to stop at in one day? That was the worst part of my day, so that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Oh, yeah, true. If that was the worst part.
Yeah, I'll
That's
take it.
good. Mm-hmm. Well, we're back in the lake house.
We are. We're not at my house anymore.
No, we got to come back to where we belong.
We did kick our sweet mother-in-law out.
Yeah. Yeah, she scared me when I walked in here. Sorry, Carol. I walked in and the door was wide open and I was like, hello. And she was like, hi, I'm leaving. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. She was going to go hang out with her sister. So
Yes.
she's good.
Yes, she is good.
They're going to go grab dinner.
Yes, yes. Well,
Are you ready to jump in?
this is going to be a tough one.
It is. This one's going to be a hard one.
Yeah.
So just trigger warning, it's about a child.
Mhm.
And there's just some disturbing details.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Crime Corner. I have an update.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the last episode, I talked about that gang shooting that happened at the nightclub in Tyler.
Yes.
So they have one individual in custody.
Oh, okay.
And he was the one that was injured during the shootout. So when he was discharged from the hospital, they were there with handcuffs and an arrest warrant for him.
Oh, okay.
So he's being charged right now with deadly conduct, unlawful possession of a weapon, and tampering with physical evidence.
Oh.
And the officer that I was listening to today said that their ballistics tests show that there were 6 different guns shot. Yes.
What?
So they have one guy in custody.
Well, it was like 3 gangs that came together,
Correct.
right? Okay.
And so they have one guy in custody, so that's 1 gun. They have one guy that was killed. I assume that's 2 guns. So now we're looking for 4 more, maybe 5 more individuals.
Yikes.
Is that not wild?
That's insane.
And they're looking all over
Yeah.
the place. All over East Texas are looking for these guys.
Dang.
Or these gang members. I don't know if they were all men, but anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Terrifying. Anyway, that's it that I have on my Crime Corner.
Yeah, I don't think I have much. I know that they did recover once again one more body.
Oh, yes. Thank you for saying that.
One
Yes.
more body from the bayou.
The first body of 2026 from the Houston Bayou.
Yeah. So to reflect back in our last episode when I brought it to y'all about these 30-something bodies that have been recovered from the Houston Bayou.
Yeah.
They had pulled, I think it was December, right before the new year. They had pulled 3 out from the bayou, and now this was yesterday.
Yeah, I think
this was yesterday or the day before. They pulled another one
body
out. So,
I just can't. There's something going on.
Something is afoot, man.
Yeah, we need to put up some game cams or something along that.
And I was talking to somebody else about it too the other day. Even if this is just, so sad to think about, but just homeless people dying and succumbing to whatever and are getting pushed into the bayou still. That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. And let's figure out why they're just getting pushed into the bayou.
And okay, do you remember reading are they all men?
Yes.
Okay, because for some reason I was remembering that every one of the victims was a man.
I'm almost 98% sure they're all men.
Yeah,
and I cannot for the life of me, maybe I need to do some more digging, which we already dig into all of our other cases. But I can't find any causes of death. So I don't know if some of these bodies are so decomposed they can't tell, or if they're holding that for some reason. I don't know. But we'll try and keep y'all updated, and I'll try and dig a little bit.
Sooner or later.
Yes.
It'll come out.
Yes. But I think that's it for our crime corner. And I don't think we have a correction.
I don't know yet.
I don't think
we have a correction. Nobody said anything to me yet.
Yeah. So there we go. Corners concluded.
And I remembered my sourcing, and I highlighted it so that I wouldn't forget to say it.
Yay!
I know. So my sources include Smith County Records, CBS 19, and then Stewart Family Funeral Home. Okay. So I'm going to take you back to November 1st, 2016. Families have come together and are attending a prayer service at 7 p.m. at Bullard First Assembly of God in Bullard, Texas, which is an East Texas town.
It sure is. Right there.
It's about 15 minutes outside of Tyler.
Yeah.
So a woman named Balvina Ariano was attending the service with her young daughter, Kayla, who was 10.
Okay.
Balvina had instructed Kayla to wait for her in the lobby while she prayed at the altar. So, Kayla would go with her mom and, hang out because it was a lot of families that went. And so Kayla would, hang out and, play with the other kids while the adults went and prayed at the altar.
Okay.
So she's like, wait for me in the lobby if you decide to leave the chapel. So as Balvina finishes her prayer, she scans around the chapel. She doesn't see Kayla. And so she heads to the lobby. And when she's in the lobby, no Kayla. Still. It's about 7:30 p.m. now. So she's been praying for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Balvina begins asking friends and family at church to help her look for Kayla. By 8 p.m., the church had been searched inside and out, and still no Kayla.
Panic.
Yes.
Complete panic.
So police are now called to the scene, and officers came from all over to search for this 10-year-old girl. Police were told the timeline of the events and given the following description of Kayla. She's 10. She's 4 feet tall, anywhere between 80 and 90 pounds, with black hair, brown eyes, was wearing a peach-colored skirt and a black racket and jog t-shirt, which is kind of like a clothing or a local clothing store here, and black flats. She also had her cloth crossbody bag that was peach, tan, and turquoise with an Indian-style pattern. And Balvina says that her bag most likely included lip gloss, lotion, hand sanitizer, gum, and her prayer scarf.
Oh,
I know. Yeah, exactly what you would think you'd find in a little.
It's those little details that murder me.
Yeah. So officers, church members, friends, family, and now community volunteers are showing up because they've called out everybody.
Yeah.
Wasted no time in kicking off a search party. Searchers knocked on doors in communities neighboring the church, checked ring doorbell footage. They looked in all the dumpsters and trash cans. A group of officers was even sent to the Cherokee County dump site to check through there to see if there was any evidence of her there. And they interviewed all the local businesses that were open at the time. And unfortunately, nothing.
Yeah.
It's like this girl just vanished.
Yeah. Wow.
Just vanished.
I can't imagine the mother.
Yeah. So not only were they canvassing Bullard, but they're also following up on leads. Leads are starting to come in because the police have definitely put out a BOLO and an Amber Alert for Kayla. So, police were also conducting interviews with the family and friends, everybody that was at church and at the prayer service that evening, hoping to get any bit of information they could.
Yeah.
The only thing that police could conclude from that evening from talking to everybody was the last person that saw Kayla was her uncle, Gustavo Zavala.
Okay.
So as police are continuing to talk with Balvina, she tells them that all the family members that came with her that evening are still at the church. So any family member that was not at the church that evening, they've already contacted, which included Kayla's father and her 2 older brothers who were unable to attend the service that night. But they arrived quickly on scene as they realized that their, daughter and sister were missing.
Yeah.
So, but as police are trying to take account for all of Balvina's family members, they find that Gustavo Zavala has left the church to take his child home.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So police reach out to him and tell him he needs to immediately return to the church.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's now 10:30 p.m. and reinforcements have been called in, including the local fire department, K-9 tracking teams, and county officers. It's the following day, so November 2nd. Investigator Quintanilla, I'm sorry if I butchered that, Quintanilla went to Balvina's home and interviewed Balvina about Kayla in the days leading up to her disappearance.
Okay.
Balvina was questioned about Kayla's daily routine, like what that looked like. And you can imagine it was fairly normal.
Yeah.
Getting your kids ready for school and packing your bag and everything like that. She was asked about her relationships with her older brothers, her brother's girlfriends, if they had a repair person that had been in or out of the house within the last month.
Yeah.
In which she actually had. She had somebody come in and work on her, it was either her washer or her dishwasher. I can't remember. But she said Kayla loved, like, her little space in the house was that she loved to watch TV in her parents' bedroom. Mm-hmm. And so the entire time the repair guy was there, she was basically watching TV in her parents' room.
Yeah, so they didn't really see her.
Yeah, and she said when she was out of, oh, goodness. Oh, you called it. You said.
Everybody. Okay, pause.
Pause for technical difficulties.
And sorry.
We're trying to use these arms to hold the microphones because
if you're just listening,
like to wiggle too much on the couch.
I do too, though. If you're just listening, we have these new little mic stands that were tightened onto the side tables here, and my little table is
just
not
completely fell off.
Yeah.
Probably was Larry.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, sorry.
You're
continue
fine. On. So again, we were at the repair guy. They had asked about the repair person, but her mother wasn't, or Balvina wasn't really concerned about him.
Yeah.
And they said, well, okay, does she play with any neighborhood kids? And she's like, sometimes. She said, Kayla's really shy. So there's 2 little boys that live like close by, and she sometimes will play with them. But for the most part, she just like says hello and then goes inside.
Yeah.
So so they ask her about like her, school and friends at school and just anybody that she may interact with.
Yeah.
But every answer that Balvina gives is just like a normal, average answer, like nothing wild, nothing crazy. She's not exposed to anything.
Yeah.
And like, for all that they can tell, she comes from like a super loving, safe home.
Yeah.
Like,
they were at church when all this happened.
Correct.
Which is even more terrifying.
Yeah. So yeah, they're not, oh, I was about to mess up.
You pulled a Megan.
I did. Hold on. Wait. Did I?
Look at the numbers on your page.
Okay. I know they're numbered. Okay. Okay. Sorry.
You're fine.
So I did. I turned too early. So her older brothers, Christopher and Kenneth, both lived at the house. Now, Christopher is 25 and Kenneth is 20. So
this was my next question. How old are these brothers?
Yeah, there's quite the age gap. So Christopher 25 and Kenneth 20 both live at the home, but they adored her.
Yeah.
Adored her. And the both brothers' girlfriends also got along with Kayla. I mean, she's 10.
Yeah.
Like,
a baby.
Exactly. So, and they said she was like well liked in school, just not a troublemaker. So, Quintanilla asked, maybe I'll just call him Q.
Yeah.
Quintanilla.
And this is the detective?
Yes.
Okay.
He's one of the investigators.
Okay.
Asked for further information about a typical Tuesday night at the prayer service. Like, what did that kind of look like? And Balvina stated that most of the rooms are locked and that Kayla would only take her little cousin, who was Gustavo's daughter, to play in the playroom during service. And they also sometimes would play hide and seek. Now, Gustavo's daughter is a toddler.
Oh, okay.
So she's little.
A lot younger. Okay.
Yeah. The only other rooms that Kayla would have had access to were the bathrooms and the kitchen.
Okay.
So in the middle of the interview, Kenneth comes in and he tells Quintanilla that investigators need to look into Gustavo. He said,
and this is the dad saying this.
This is her brother.
Her brother.
Kenneth.
Okay.
The 20-year-old.
Oh, okay.
He's like, you need to check into Gustavo, the uncle. And Gustavo is 24. So also young.
What in the world?
And Kenneth further explains that Gustavo was the last known person to see Kayla. He left the service early. And when Kenneth tried calling Gustavo when Kayla was initially found to be missing, Gustavo's phone was turned off and went straight to voicemail. He then said something just isn't right here.
Yeah.
And he said that Kenneth and Christopher, both the brothers, submitted to lie detector tests to prove that they had nothing to do with her disappearance, and that they believe Gustavo needed to take a polygraph as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So he also stated since Kayla's disappearance that Gustavo is the only family member that has not come to the house to check on the family or offered further assistance in searching for Kayla. Yep, it's not looking good
already.
It's not looking good. So Quintanilla asked Balvina what she remembered about Gustavo's movements that evening. And Balvina stated that Gustavo's wife had had her wisdom teeth taken out and was recovering at home. She said that his wife's name is Esther. Gustavo's wife's name is Esther. Okay. So Esther was at home and her dad was at home with her during this prayer service. Well, when Gustavo was at the prayer service that night, he sees his father-in-law come in and he's like, oh, Esther's home by herself. So then he takes it upon himself to leave and take his daughter and leave to go be with his wife at the house.
Okay.
Because she had her wisdom teeth taken out.
Okay.
This is the story that Gustavo is telling people, them. Okay. Right? So this is Balvina's account of the night.
Okay.
So,
so they're not interviewing him yet. This is Balvina telling them what he's telling.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And she said, so then she goes on to say that when she finished her prayer at the altar, that's when she noticed that, she didn't initially see Kayla. She had called out for her and Kayla didn't answer. And that's when she, kind of went into a panic, especially after she checked the lobby and all the other places.
Yeah.
And that's when she noticed that Gustavo had left church.
Okay.
So she too called Gustavo, but he did not answer. So then Balvina calls Esther, Gustavo's wife, and says, is Gustavo home and does he have Kayla? And Esther was like, yeah, he's home. He's right here. And no, Kayla is not with him.
What in the world?
So investigators requested Gustavo's phone, which he turned over to police without any issue. Okay. They copied over all the digital information and then gave the phone back to Gustavo. In the meantime, Gustavo's sister Edith was interviewed by investigators and they asked her what details she remembered about the night. And so I'm not going to account for the whole thing because basically her story is the same, right, as everyone else's.
Yeah.
That he was there, not there, whatever.
Then he left,
but the new detail that Edith gives is that when Gustavo arrived at church, he was wearing a hot pink short-sleeved polo, dark jeans, and gray Converse. When he later would return to the church, he was wearing a gray sleeveless workout shirt, sweatpants, and a black Fox brand baseball cap.
Typical.
But why change?
Yeah.
So in the meantime, leads are still trickling in.
And what was the timeline between him leaving, being in the hot pink polo from when he came back?
I'm going to get there.
Oh, sorry.
You're okay. No, good question. I will get there. So I'm going to tell you about a couple of the leads that came in from, people helping, trying to, point officers in a, right direction. So one of the leads that they came in was somebody said, you need to check out George Hay of Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a small town that's about 20 minutes outside of Bullard.
Yeah.
Okay. So they they check into him. And because on October 28th, George Hay was at a water park in Jacksonville.
Okay.
And it was noted that he was giving small children stuffed animals. And this was upsetting parents. Then George approached 2 13-year-old girls and offered them wine and cigarettes.
George.
Yep. You trash.
You trash.
Thankfully, the girls were like, no, thank you, and headed to the pool where George followed them into the water and then proceeded to grab one of the little girls by the leg. So they're like kicking, obviously, to get away from him. So the 2 girls get out of his grasp. And from what I understand, that this is like a public place. So I don't know where the lifeguard was and if it happened so quickly. Like, I don't really know. But the girls thankfully got out of the pool, got to a phone and called parents or help or whatever.
Yeah. What the hell?
So at this point, George like flees the scene, right? But he's later caught that same day trying to steal from Atwood's.
Trying to get more stuffed animals for the kids.
So dumb. Anyway, so upon searching George's car, police find a knife hidden under a towel, a mask, and small pieces of rope.
Ew.
Exactly.
What the hell?
I know. I'm thinking about adding George to our list
of people to kill. Just kidding.
Well,
okay.
But yeah, I don't know like what his full history is, but clearly he's a bad dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was out of jail at this point when Kayla went missing.
Correct. He was, he wasn't in jail. In fact, the only thing was that they ruled him out because his car was still in the impound. So he had no way to even get around. Yeah. So they ruled him out. I know. So another lead comes in that there's a rundown camper that's for sale not far from the church. And somebody on their commute has noticed that somebody is now like
occupying the camper.
And so police go and they check it out and they can see that it looks like somebody's been living in it. But there's no evidence that Kayla's been there.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, another cold lead. Yeah. And then another lead comes in that there's 30 acres behind a neighborhood called Katima Estates, which was a neighborhood that police hit really hard because of its close proximity to the church.
Okay.
The caller stated that there are 2 abandoned houses in the middle of this 30 acres and that they would be worth checking out.
Okay.
So police go, they search the property. Nothing.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Do we know like a timeline where we're at right now?
We are within days, but I'm about to get there. We're about to be on November 5th.
Okay.
So we're just a few days.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then the last lead I'm going to tell you about was a lead came in from a hotel in Terrell, Texas, which is between Tyler and Dallas. And a lead came in for Terrell that a woman with a child matching Kayla's description just checked in.
Oh my gosh.
But it wasn't Kayla. So can you imagine if it was the mother? She's like, excuse me?
Yeah. But I mean, all the hope that would flood through your body. Like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So like I said, we're hopping over to November 5th. Kayla went missing on November 1st. It's now November 5th.
Okay.
Evidence comes in that pushes Gustavo a little further up on the suspect list.
He's pinging on my radar as well.
Gustavo gave investigators his timeline of events that night that Kayla went missing. However, his cell phone pings show inconsistencies.
Them cell phone pings.
In his story. So investigators contact Gustavo's employer, as well as they're getting an investigative team to go back to Gustavo's house. They're like, we're going to search the property.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, before I tell you about the investigation at the house and with his boss, I'm going to tell you about an interview with Gustavo's wife, Esther.
Okay.
So investigators speak with Esther and she tells them that Gustavo came home with their daughter. And when he was walking in, so this is the night that Kayla went missing. When he's walking in the door, Esther had just received a call from her mom asking if Gustavo had Kayla. So remember, all the family like goes to church together.
Right,
so yeah. So Gustavo takes the phone from Esther, heads outside, and continues the conversation with his mother-in-law. In the meantime, Esther gets dressed because she's like, we clearly have to go help search. So she gets dressed, and Esther and Gustavo only have one vehicle.
Okay.
So the plan was to go to Gustavo's employer's shop and borrow a work vehicle so that they could search separately. So this is funny to me because like she just had her wisdom teeth out. Esther did. So I imagine she's on some pain pills.
Yeah.
But she drove the truck to Gustavo's. This is where I was at. I'm like, she was so like in so much pain and not feeling well that she was at home, right? She skipped prayer service, and Gustavo went home to care for her.
Yeah.
Right. Like, anyway, but whatever. But kudos to Esther. She was like, let's get on it. We got to find this little girl.
I don't care how much pain I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. So she drives out, and she doesn't pull onto the property or anything. She just pulls up to the property. Gustavo gets out of the truck, and in the back, he gets a baseball bat. And he's like, this is for if I come across who took Kayla. I know. Right. Okay. So before they part ways, Esther says, Gustavo, I think it would be a great idea if before we go back to the church, to go to the gas station and grab drinks for everybody. Like, let's grab some drinks and stuff for the search teams. And he's like, okay, cool. We'll do that. So they part ways. Esther gets to the gas station where she waits 30 minutes for Gustavo to get there.
Like, but walking? Where is he at?
No, he got the truck from the employer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So he has a vehicle.
Yeah.
And is 30 minutes behind Esther. He should have been like immediately behind her. Yeah. I mean, account for maybe he got caught at a red light. Sure. A minute or two.
Yeah.
But 30 minutes.
No. Where you at, sir?
Exactly. Right. So yeah, she waited 30 minutes. That's ridiculous. So when they finally arrive back at the church, it's now 10:30 p.m. Gustavo stayed about 2 hours and then left because he had to be at work at 6 a.m.
I'm sure a lot of them had to.
Everybody had a job.
Yeah.
So Esther and their daughter, whose name I don't know, it was redacted from all the things, but Esther stayed to continue the search. Meanwhile, while she's there, like helping the search, Gustavo just blows her up the whole time she's there, wanting to know when she's going to be home. So when Esther gets home, she says she couldn't quite remember the time, but it was anywhere between 2:30 and 3:30 a.m. is when she got home with their daughter. When she pulls into the house, she sees Gustavo is sitting on the front porch steps. The whole point was to
I thought you had to go to bed.
Right. Was to go to bed.
Guilty.
And then she notes that the truck that he was driving was pulled up to the back of the house near a well that was on the property, which is a place that they didn't park typically. So she just kind of made a note of it. She's like, that's weird. Why would he park there?
Yeah.
But she's like, okay, whatever. She goes inside. It's late, right? Everybody's exhausted and upset about the whole night.
Yeah.
So she goes in, and Esther, Gustavo, and their daughter all crawl into one bed, and Gustavo held them all night long until he left at 6 a.m.
Already.
Yeah.
Don't hold me at nighttime.
It's too hot. It's too hot.
Side note. Do not touch me.
Yeah.
I do not like that.
So Esther went on to explain that Gustavo did have a violent past with her. He punched her at one point while she was holding their daughter when the daughter was only 5 months old, knocking Esther and the daughter to the floor.
Oh, wow.
Another time, he grabbed Esther by the throat and shoved her into a glass cabinet. But police were called that night, and he did go to jail that night.
What in the world?
Girl.
No wonder everybody was like, y'all need to check him
into
out.
This dude. Yeah. So she also noted that Gustavo would become violent when he was hungry, which made me crack me up. I mean, like, same. But when he become hungry, or when she would not consent to intercourse. Because beating someone really makes someone have sex with you.
Yeah.
Like, really?
I mean, and you're wondering why she's not consenting?
Yes. So she said she learned that it was just easier to give in when he wanted it because it was just safer for her and their daughter that way.
I'm going to go ahead and say PSA to all the male listeners, because I know there's so many of y'all. If you're having a little trouble, try to look inward. Just try to really reflect on how you're acting to your significant other.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So then Esther gives this little detail. I mean, this girl spilled all the tea.
I'm loving Esther.
She held back nothing.
She's like, let me tell you about this dude.
So she said she always thought that it bothered her, and it was really odd that when Gustavo was around Kayla, that he would crack up and giggle with her like a little girl.
Sick.
Yeah, it always bothered her.
Yeah, that'd bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then,
a 10-year-old girl is not that freaking funny, homie.
Yeah, right. Right. Well, then she's like, because he was like childlike flirting, right? I mean, it was just weird.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Then she said that the next day she discovered that Gustavo had washed one change of clothes. That's it. One change of clothes. Now I'm going to go.
And I'm sure he did laundry all the time.
Literally what I was about to say. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this motherfucker didn't ever do laundry.
No. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to wash this pair of pants, this shirt.
Right. I'm going to wash this pink polo. These dark jeans. Exactly. I don't know that that's what was in the, she didn't say that that's the change of clothes that was in the wash, but he washed one. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Super suspicious. Mm-hmm. So anyway, like I said, our girl held nothing back.
I'm loving her. Good job.
Okay. So now we're going to hop over. We're going to interview Gustavo's boss, Jose.
Okay.
So this is again on November 5th when they interview Jose.
Okay.
So they call Jose and they're like, hey, we need to check your shop and which truck does Gustavo normally drive? And Jose's like, hey, I'm out of town, but you are welcome to search my property. I've got nothing to hide. Search away.
What kind of company was it?
Okay. So I'm going to tell you that too.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're okay. So detectives search the shop and search the property. They don't really find anything. Mm-hmm. Jose finally returned from being out of town and they're like, hey, can you tell us what Jose's work week looked like the week that Kayla went missing? Mm-hmm. So Jose goes on to explain that Gustavo was doing concrete work in Tyler, Troop, and Crockett. And then at one point he was doing concrete, but then he also worked on a deck for a little bit. And Jose recalled that on November 1st, he had missed a late night call from Gustavo. Now, Jose didn't answer because he was asleep. Mm-hmm. And so the next day, he texted Gustavo. He was like, hey, dude, saw that I missed your call. What's up?
Yeah.
And so this is the verbatim text exchange that they had. So he's like, what's going on, Gustavo? Mm-hmm. And he's like, I wanted to borrow a work truck to go look for my wife's cousin. Not the niece, a cousin, but okay. And he said, who's gone missing? And Jose goes, oh no. He's like, that's so bad. I really hope that they find her. Mm-hmm. Gustavo says, yeah, the police and everybody still haven't found her. And Jose says, hope they find her. Gustavo, hopefully.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very dry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we're still November 5th. So a lot happened on this day. A lot of interviews happened. Uh-huh. Okay, so a team of investigators show up now at Gustavo and Esther's home.
Okay.
So when they pull up, they see Gustavo and Esther and their daughter are actually all standing outside.
Okay.
So they pull up and they're like, investigators hand Esther a written consent form to search the property and explain to her that they need to do a thorough search because of the new information that they've received. Mm-hmm. So Gustavo is not fluent in English.
Oh, okay.
So Esther explains to him what this form is. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't know. I would have to ask Steve, but I think the form that they handed them is a consent to search the property. It's not an actual search warrant. So they could have gone through the process of doing a search warrant, but this may have been a faster step.
Yeah.
If they can get them to sign off that they're allowed to search the property.
Yeah, because I don't think they need a signature with a warrant.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like they have all the evidence they need to search you. So they're asking for consent to search the property.
Yeah.
So Esther goes on to explain to Gustavo why they're there and what this form is about.
Mm-hmm.
And Gustavo breaks into tears. And Esther goes on to explain to investigators that Gustavo had been very stressed about the amount of work that he was missing, and he was afraid that he was going to be fired.
Okay, well, we don't give a shit about your job, sir. We're here trying to find Kayla.
A child is missing, sir. Child.
Go cry in your room about your job.
Your niece is missing. I'm going to tell you right now. If one of my little girls went missing, if one of your girls went missing, I would take every moment of time that I have.
Yeah, fire me.
PTO or not.
Yeah, fire me.
Yeah, fire me. Like, I mean, my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, but whatever. And it's been 5 days, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
Odd. Extremely odd.
He doesn't help himself in any part of this.
Mm-hmm.
So investigators are like, hey, it's okay. We'll call Jose.
Hey.
Okay. We'll call Jose. We'll tell him what's going on. We'll help smooth things over so that you can maintain employment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This guy is so frustrating. So Esther and Gustavo, they give consent. They both sign the form.
Oh, okay.
And the investigative teams get started. So while they're investigating the home, they take Gustavo up to the police station because they want to do a polygraph on him. So I want to just note that a couple of days prior to this, Gustavo had been taken in to the police station to take a polygraph.
Okay.
But the results were inconclusive because this asshole continually fell asleep during the polygraph exam.
When was this?
This was like a couple days prior. So it was between the 1st and the 5th. They didn't give me an exact date of when he went in. But so between the 1st and the 5th, he submitted to a polygraph. It was falling asleep.
He was not falling asleep.
So
he was doing this.
Yeah. Like, I mean, pretending. I don't know. So the results were inconclusive because he kept falling asleep. Like, I'm so
That's
sorry.
When I would
like,
fully invest in a cattle prod.
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, if one of your girls were missing, I'm losing sleep.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. Like, I'm like running on anxiety. Or not anxiety, adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
Anxiety and adrenaline.
I'm not sleeping.
No.
And I'm certainly not going to find comfort in a police station in an investigator's chair.
Right. You know it's freezing cold in there.
Taking a polygraph. Yeah, you do. You know it's cold.
And you're hooked up to all that stuff. You're not falling asleep.
Yeah, it was just wild to me. It's just wild. So at the house, investigators are reminded of what Kayla was wearing. And so the team broke up into little groups and they started checking everything. I mean, they are digging through dirty piles of laundry, their bathrooms, kitchen, like in any and all places.
Yeah.
So Lieutenant, and I apologize if I butchered this name as well, Duramus, I believe is how you say it,
okay,
was one of the investigators, and he finished his search area of the inside of the house before anyone else.
Okay.
So Lieutenant Duramus said, I'm going to head outside, guys. I'm going to start looking out there.
Mm-hmm.
And within about 10 minutes of searching the exterior of the property, he notices the well at the south side of the property.
Where he was parked by.
Where
Gustavo.
The work truck had initially been parked
by. Okay.
So the well had a heavy concrete cover over the top. But Lieutenant Duramus was able to move the cover just enough to get his flashlight down into the well so that he could see to the bottom.
Yeah.
And that's where he saw the body of an adolescent female, half submerged in the water at the bottom of the well.
Shut up.
Yeah. So Lieutenant Duramus immediately notifies the team and they all come outside to confirm, to look down the well to confirm that that's what they were all looking at.
Yeah. I'm sick.
I know. So at this point, Tyler firefighters are called into the site because due to the narrow space in which they had to work in the well, they were the only ones with the knowledge and equipment to be able to get her safely out of the well.
Yeah.
So, and again, this is, I'm assuming
they're looking down there and they know that she's deceased.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. no, she's definitely gone.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just reminding you, trigger warning, these are where some of the details are going to come in that are hard to listen to.
Yeah.
So once Kayla's body is taken out of the well, she's wrapped in a tarp and gently laid on the ground until the appropriate teams and examiners can show up. And they were able to identify her because she still had on her little racket and jog t-shirt and her peach skirt. So they're like, they know they had her.
Yeah.
And after Kayla was transported off the scene, the water utility company was brought in to drain the rest of the well to make sure there wasn't any further evidence in it. So as they're like,
pumping the water
pumping the water out, police are at the end of the hose, like with sieves.
Sifting through that. Yeah.
Sieves, like trying to like sift through all the water. And this is where her little black shoes came out. And her panties came out. Yeah. Yeah. So while these horrific discoveries were being taken place at Gustavo's home, he was in an interview room hooked up to the polygraph machine where he implicated himself in the kidnapping and murder of his niece. Gustavo was being held at that point was being held on an immigration detainer while they were conducting the search at his home and giving him the polygraph. So this immigration detainer would allow police to hold Gustavo for up to 48 hours, which was just enough time to turn the detainer into a murder charge.
Okay.
So now we're 2 days later. It's November 7th, and investigators Castillo and Hinton set up to interview Gustavo at the Smith County Jail. In the interview, Gustavo admits to taking Kayla from church, but he said it wasn't by force. Like, she willingly went.
Well, yeah, you're her uncle.
And he admits that the two performed oral and then followed by intercourse. But I'm about to really piss you off. Gustavo goes on to say that Kayla solicited him.
I'm going to throw everything I can see right now.
This sweet, innocent, shy 10-year-old girl, you're going to tell me that she solicited your nasty 24-year-old ass?
There is a special place for you, sir.
You cannot. There's just...
and it always turns out like that, on these sick people, I feel like a lot of them try and say that it was the child that came on to them or something.
I mean, yeah. When I read that, I could have just literally vomited.
Yeah.
I could have just vomited. I was horrified when he was like literally victim blaming. Like,
that's a baby.
Seriously?
Sir. And you're a man. You're a very sick man.
Yeah. And he went on to say, this is just awful. He went on to tell investigators that Kayla was trying to stimulate him to have intercourse, and that's when he gave in to her request for sex.
What? No.
I know.
No.
Horrid. I'm like, so far, this was the hardest case. Like, it's because it has to do with a child, right?
Yeah.
This is like the hardest case, like the case notes to read through. And it was really awful. And I actually redacted like a lot.
Yeah. We had a conversation about this.
We did. And I gave Megan, I'm like, I have like a couple details in here that I'm like, and she's like, yeah, if you're already feeling some sort of way about it, like pull it out. And so I did. So,
but also Ashley, when we were talking about this case, she was like, I just feel it's kind of important to paint the appropriate picture of what a messed up monster
what kind
he
of
is.
Monster he absolutely was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when this case was going on, like, I remember this case, obviously a lot of us do. I don't think any of that ever came out in the news that is what happened.
He put her through. Yeah. 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 It was just awful. And
sick.
Yeah, I mean, and can you imagine the investigators having to keep their cool? Like, I just couldn't do it.
Oh my gosh,
I would want to come across the effing table.
That's shout out to what's that true crime podcast that I've told you about, that it's about the detectives, Small Town Dicks.
Yes.
Two of the hosts on that podcast, y'all should go listen to it. It's amazing. It's the detectives that actually tell their stories and stuff on there. And two of them were they investigated crime cases against children. And I don't know how they did it, but I mean, obviously superheroes need to do that because creeps like that need to be buried 6 feet deep, in my opinion.
Honestly.
But that, yeah, I'm always blown away of detectives and stuff that can keep their cool around people like that. Cause I just don't think I could.
Well, and like prison or jail is supposed to serve as like almost like a rehab facility, right? And you're supposed to be rehabilitated when you're like let back out into society. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, but if you're going after children,
no, you don't rehabilitate.
You cannot recover from that.
In my opinion, and it's a very, very strong one. Yeah. There's a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of studies out there that show that you cannot rehabilitate that. No. You can't.
And I look, and I'm not talking about like the 18-year-old guy that his girlfriend is like 16 and the parents press charges. I'm not talking about that.
No,
I'm talking about the 24-year-old dude who's going after a 10-year-old little girl.
Yeah.
And based on like what
pedophile.
Yeah, literally. And based on what Esther was saying, it sounded like he had been starting to like groom her.
Yeah.
Right. To be comfortable
absolutely.
Around him and all these things.
Well, this laughing and giggling with her and stuff, exactly. And I'm sure that, I mean, there's so many cases, but I mean, they always try and see how far they can push, these kids and stuff, and just to see what they're, how far they can get with these kids. And it's just freaking horrifying. And usually about 9 times out of 10, it's a family member.
Isn't it?
Which is mind blowing.
It's mind blowing to me. Yeah. Anyway, I just like, I could have just screamed when I was like reading through this part. And anyway, it's just awful. And I'm sure now that the family goes back and they're thinking about it, there were probably times where they're like, oof, yeah, he probably.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe that was, I didn't think about it at the time was inappropriate, but maybe now.
Yeah. I mean, that's her uncle.
Was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So on December 16th, 2016, the autopsy is finally released to detectives to determine the cause of death for Kayla was blunt force trauma to the head. Mm-hmm. And so her death was listed as a homicide. And it was also noted that he tried strangling her at one point. Mm. So I'm going to say that she probably was pushing back hard and she was struggling more than what he thought she would, and he grabbed something and hit her over the top of the head.
I'm sure.
And that she was covered in bruises on her thighs and on her back.
Poor baby.
Yep. So in August of 2019, Gustavo pleaded guilty to capital murder and was sentenced to life in prison. However, on July 2nd, 2024, Gustavo was found unresponsive in his cell. Cause of death, strangulation. So he hung himself in his cell. So, he wasn't on death row or anything. So he was just going to literally rot his whole life in jail.
Yeah.
But I mean, you and I both know, like,
he fed extra self to the
to hell.
Yeah, to the guy that you probably shouldn't. I would have stayed here as long as I could.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope that her family is like still finds, peace and that he's not in jail anymore, but like that he's gone. Like, I hope that doesn't like that they wanted him to rot in jail for years or whatever.
Yeah.
But he got the ultimate punishment, I guess. So anyway, but I wanted to give you what people said about Kayla.
Okay.
About what her family said. Is that Kayla loved her friends, family, church, and God. And that she loved swimming, soccer, doing cartwheels, baking with her mom, and she loved to volunteer, which I love that. I love that her family put her, I'm sure she volunteered a lot with the church, but that she volunteered a lot. And I love that.
Yeah.
She sang at church and she expressed to her parents that she had wanted to start to learn to play guitar. Mm. And she actually, at 10, I know we all have big dreams at 10, but her dream at 10 was to become a doctor.
Oh.
Yep. And anyway, but yeah, everyone just kept saying how sweet and loving and kind that she was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember seeing seeing her picture everywhere when all this was going on.
Oh,
and she just had the sweetest little face. And yeah.
This was, really awful and like I said, hard to read. And I actually was telling one of my girlfriends at work, I was like, hey, I think maybe you should just skip this one.
Yeah.
And like, as I'm telling her to skip it, like, she's like, oh my God, you're about to cry. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, it was a really hard read.
Yeah,
it was really hard read. And I say that to her because she has a 10-year-old little girl. I was like, you should just pass on this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if she'll listen or not. I did trigger warn her to pass on it, but
well, we all know where Kayla is.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's comforting. Mm-hmm. So I at least try and think about that on these cases because, you know, it makes it very clear where God holds innocent children.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And where the monsters are held.
Yeah. Gustavo down there. Down there. Not, you know.
Hell.
Yeah.
In hell. All right. Sorry for that hard one, guys.
Wowzer. That was an extremely hard one, man. Yeah. Well, thank you. You covered it good. You covered it great.
Thanks.
Glad I put on waterproof mascara.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, okay. Come back next time, guys.
Yes. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
Follow us on all our socials, Instagram and TikTok and Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Facebook. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And everything is In-Laws in Crime.
Mm-hmm.
And then
thanks for all the comments. We've had a couple sweet little comments on our, I think it was YouTube. And you know, shout out. We had some, I forgot your name, but she commented and said that her and her sister are going to start a podcast and they love our podcast.
That was so sweet. And it's funny that we came across their feed because they're in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. She said Oklahoma girls. So shout out to y'all
for our little Oklahoma girlies.
Do it.
Do it. It's tough, but do it.
Yeah. But it was funny. She was like, I think she asked for like any advice or whatever. And I wanted to be like, any advice for us?
Yeah. You don't have to go all out. Like, I mean, I think we're still on all of our things.
I said really invest in equipment.
Yeah.
Because that's proving to be
even like $500.
No, I mean, we still want a better camera. We have a lot of things that we're trying to better. But yeah, I said really invest in the equipment and just kind of stay at it and try and act as natural as possible.
It's so hard. I think we're so much better than where we were though. Like, this is episode 15.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dang. Can you believe that? We're 15 in. I know. That's wild.
Well, glad y'all are all sticking around.
Like, honestly, like I know that we still have like improving to do, but I was gonna go back and watch or re-listen to one. So I know, so I can see how far we've come.
Oh man, I know.
If you've been with us from day one,
it's gonna be cringy when we look back, like when we're on episode 215 or something. We're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm shocked anybody was listening. But anyways, yes, thank you for everybody who's commenting on our stuff. We love the praise.
We do. We love it.
I sent Ashley that screenshot of the girl that commented on YouTube and she said #influencers.
Yes.
But anyways, yes, like, subscribe, and share.
Or email us at
inlawsandcrime@gmail.com.
Thank you.
For if you have a fun tale or a story to share or recommendations
or something for us to investigate.
Yes, we're taking all the recommendations.
Yes, and I get them a lot. Like a girlfriend of mine that gave me my Dallas is not on East Texas.
Yeah,
she gave me like 4 to add to our list, which was awesome.
Yes,
so my mom gave me one recently.
Yeah,
so
I have a couple that I forgot to write down that I need to revisit those people and be like, what case did you tell me about?
Yeah,
because I just didn't jot them down like I need to. So, but anyways, yes. So come back next Friday.
Yep.
But anyways, okay. Keep your head on a swivel.
No.
Why do I mess it up every time?
Do you want my line? I'll give it to you.
No, I don't
Keep
want
your roots
deep. I don't want your line.
All right. Do it again.
Is it mine? Mine's keep your roots deep. Okay, guys. See,
and
it's
your
late.
Head on a swivel.
It's a late night. I'm so sorry.
We are. It's a Wednesday night. It's late.
Okay. Anyways, keep your roots deep
and your head on a swivel.
Bye.